All right, what up out there, my travel wolves? Today's video is going to be about this country I had the worst dating experiences in. Yes, experiences with an S. And let me know what country you're in the comments so that I don't show up there because I don't want to be the same country you guys be in. But I decided to do a video like this where I'm going to talk about the worst, the best, and the better dating experiences in the countries I've traveled to. And I decided to do this video series because I saw another YouTuber, like just capping about dating in this country. And I was like, man, this dude is lying again, capping. I don't know why they come on here lying. I don't understand what it's supposed to do. What is it supposed to do that they capping so hard? What is the point? Just tell the truth. It's not the same. You know, I was just thinking about it this morning when I woke up. I said, what's the difference between cornflakes and Frosty Flakes? Leave your answer in the comment. What's the difference between cornflakes and Frosty Flakes, you know? And it didn't help that on top of telling this story that's all cap, he ends it by making a shiesty-ass thought and statement. And I was like, damn, he's shiesty too? Damn. You know, and I said, I don't know if he's African American, but I don't think so because you know, brothers know shiestiness don't play. We don't play with that shiestiness, and we be like that since we were children. If you grew up in our era, you know, and you're in your 40s now, you know what, you ain't play that shiesty stuff. You know, that was serious business. And you know, funny thing is, shiesty is the only word I know that no matter where I went to as a child, whatever city or state, wherever region I was in, it was the only word that meant the same thing no matter where you went and was used the same way no matter where you went. That's how powerful it was if you grew up in my era where you would be in your 40s now, you know? So, yeah, he said some shiesty stuff on top of capping, and I was just like, yeah, here we go again. These guys need to be checked. So here we go. I'm going to tell you my story, my experiences of dating in this country, and it was just, to me, yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst ever. And I've been on a lot of dates in this country, but this was the worst. No, I can't lie. Too much. Like I'm starting to sound like them. But I had some dates. They weren't nothing other than, you know, they weren't nothing like extraordinary. So, but these two dates were the worst. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you about these two dates being the worst. So anyway, I was in Colombia, and like I said, I was traveling. I've been there like about, I think this was like month 3 or 4. I go to another country. I go to another state, another city in Colombia, called Barranquilla. And I'm there hanging out with a person I hang out with from time to time, you know. And they're like, let's go to the beach club. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's go to the beach club. And so, you know, they set it up and everything. But at some point, I think one of the girls couldn't make it. And so I was just like, you know what, I'm good. Don't worry about it. You know, you go do your thing. I'm just going to go chill by myself or whatever. I don't want no one because it was too late for me to vet them. And I wanted to see what they look like. You know, I needed to see what the girl looked like because just like women are shallow, I'm one of those men who are shallow. Just like women care about looks 100%, I care about a woman's appearance 300%. You know, it means a lot to me. And especially, you know, I don't want to spend my time with someone that I'm just not my type, that I'm not feeling. And I can look and see, you know, oh yeah, that's not going to work out. It saves a lot of energy for them. It saves a lot of energy for me. So I just, you know, told them that. But they went ahead and told the person they were with, do you know someone, last minute, blah, blah. And they managed to materialize their sister. And I was just like, you know, when we pulled up to get her, I just took a glance and I was like, yeah, I knew it. I'm not impressed. I should have said, take me back to the apartment. That was my first decision. But I said, I'll take one for the team. Well, it ain't really a team, but I said, you know, I'll take one for the purpose, you know. But anyway, so we go to the beach club. You know, like I said, I wasn't really feeling them at all. I definitely wasn't feeling the sister. She was very she by Colombian standards, from what I've seen so far, she wasn't even the par. She was below that. You know what I'm saying? She was below par. She wasn't even my type, at all. Not the type I would go for, definitely not the type I want to spend a Saturday with. So, but I tried to make the most of it. I just ate, kept to myself. I didn't talk to her. She didn't talk to me. So that was fine. And, we just chilled. I just chilled. And then it rained. So I was like, see, I knew it was going to be a bad day because everything that could go wrong went wrong. And it rained. And, but what's rain really when you're at the beach? But I took that as an omen. Like, this is why I should have stayed at the apartment, by myself. I would have had way more fun. Could have went to the pool. Could have met someone of quality, all that, And I didn't. And so when we got back to when we left, I just told my driver, like, yo, take her back where we picked her up at. Like, I didn't even say anything. I just got out the car and ran inside, and and that was the end of that. And I was so glad. I was so relieved that this date was over. So the moral of the story is that Colombianas are not perfect date partners. They're all not perfect date partners, just like anywhere else. Yeah, you find some, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really heard a good dating story, but I mean, I would say you maybe can find some. I haven't heard a good dating story. I've never been on a good date in Colombia. I'm going to tell you the countries I've been on a date that was the best date I've been on, and then the better date that I've been on. But I've never been on a good date in Colombia. The whole 4 months I was there, I've never been on a good date in Colombia. And I will say that women in Colombia are probably the most attractive compared to women in the other two countries. But while they are attractive, they're not what I would say. Are the preferred people to go on dates with. They're not dateable. You know what I'm saying? They're not the people you want to go on dates with. They have a feature. They have something that they're good at. Dating just ain't one of those things, in my opinion. And that's how I take it. So anyway, moving right along. And this is what I'm talking about when I say patterns. So for me, a pattern is something that happens literally the same way as the first thing. So you have a one and then you have another one. That's a pattern. It's a recurrence of what happened before. So remember how I told you, like, this chick, like, just basically ignored me. She made no effort. She was totally unfriendly. It doesn't matter that I have to be friendly to her. I don't have to be friendly to her because I'm picking up the check. She's not picking up no check. She's here graciously through my, really in my mind, she's uninvited. So she should really be gracious. But, the point is, she just basically was ignoring me. I can't ignore her. I'm picking up the check. That's not ignoring her. But, I don't have to socialize with her because I know how women operate. If she wants to talk to me, she will. If she sees something in it for her, she'll talk to me. Even though so she didn't see anything in it for her. Even though I'm picking up the check, she didn't think, there's none of that mattered to her. So she was just very rude. And that's what I noticed about a lot of Colombianas is they are very rude in a social sense. Like I said, there's another lifestyle that they're useful for, but socially, they're going to be rude. They're very rude. I find them very rude socially. That's just my take on it. I find them very rude. I would say obnoxious, but they're not really smart enough to be obnoxious because the way that they're playing the game, especially in that lifestyle, the way they're playing the game it's like, to me, it's like, are you fucking serious? Like, that's not right. Who taught you that? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but anyway, yeah, like I said, you're going to see a pattern when I tell you the next story. So after that, a couple of weeks went by, maybe a month later, I end up right back at the same beach club with the same person, and they invited another two girls. Now, I didn't really invest or know who was coming because I was like, I'm over this. I'm just chilling. I'm enjoying my Saturday. I'm having a good time. I'm not worried about spending it with no chick. I'm not really trying to force to have to be sociable to people who are just rude and obnoxious, you know? And these are some very rude and obnoxious women, and I know because I dealt with that for a long time before I even left the States. And the state that I live in America, it's a lot of that. So I said to myself, I said, self, I'm just going to relax and breathe. So anyway, they send me to go get the girls. And lo and behold, it's a girl who I do not like. If you know me, you know when I say I do not like you, that's a big deal. So it's a girl that I do not like. And I say to myself, I did not. Now, this person knew I didn't want to have anything to do with this girl. And they invited her anyway. And I was just like, man. So I just like let them see me. I didn't even walk up to them and say anything. And she had a friend with her. And I was like, another one of these. And I was like, you know, her friend was, again, below par. She's already below par anyway, but her friend was definitely below par. And I was like, you know, that's like that. So I was like, oh, come on, man. Like, really, like, no, come on. So I just walked back like 20 paces in front of them. I was not excited. I was not enthused, and I didn't want to spend Saturday with this chick. So anyway, we go sit down, and we sitting there. It looks like a foursome, but it's really a threesome, and I'm happy with that because I don't like this chick at all. This chick is so like disrespectful. I mean, I would say ignorant, but that would be a compliment in her for being smart. So that's how ignorant she fucking is, right? And I noticed that too. When I notice women who learn English in foreign countries, they become really ignorant. It's almost like the way they have to think about English, it does something to their brain where they become highly ignorant, you know. And this girl was just super duper ignorant. And I already had thought I blocked her out of my life anyway. I really wasn't even looking for her anyway. You know, I don't know how I allowed myself to get. I knew this was going to happen with a person, and I hate creating this negative energy in people, you know. I really just don't like it. I really feel like everything should be pleasant. And if I don't like to be introduced to people that I haven't personally like vetted, because if it creates a negative psionic energy, it's going to like just fuck up my whole day, like fuck up my whole vibe. It's going to take me months to get that shit out of my psyche, you know. It's so toxic to me because I'm so deluded that one impurity, it just messes everything up. It's like that how one tablespoon of motor oil can contaminate all the water, all the fresh drinking water on the ship at sea, right? So, and she had a friend with her. So, you know, I definitely wasn't trying to talk to her friend. You know, her friend was subpar anyway. I really couldn't even tell you what she looks like. I didn't even look at her. And it was the same thing as last time. And I said to myself, you know, her friend just basically sat there and was unfriendly and was ignoring me. And, you know, I was like, good. Because again, here we go again, right? But this time, I was like, you know what? I was so miserable that whole day. I was like, I thought I was supposed to be happy. I thought Colombian women supposed to be bad bitches. I thought I'm supposed to see bad bitches every time I meet one of them. And I'm supposed to be happy every time I spend time with one of them. But I wasn't. I was so miserable. It was like, you know, if it's not perfect, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it in any way favorable if it's not perfect, because that's what matters. If it's the same shit as it is in America, hit and miss, there's no point in saying it's perfect somewhere else. And dating in a lot of these countries is not perfect. It's really similar to being in America. You know, you can save the time and the energy and the money and just stay where you're at. But anyway, sometimes I wish I did that. When I look at all the money I spent, sometimes I wish I had my money and an Xbox and stayed in Hawaii and watched my money stack just on interest, then and my investments, then spending it trying to chase something that wasn't real, that doesn't really exist, So anyway, this is what I did though this time. I was like, you know what, I'm not doing it. Plus the person I'm with, they was extra feeling themselves, extra obnoxious. So I was just like, they was extra obnoxious towards me again, which is why I don't fuck with them. Why I should say why I stopped fucking with them a long time ago. But, I don't know why I started fucking with them again, because they can't help it. They can't help who they are and what they feel and think about themselves. And it's a whole nother story for some other time. Maybe I'll tell you guys it. But anyway, I said to myself, let me get out of here. So I just got up and I walked away. I got up from the table and I walked away. And that's the best thing you can do as any man, is if the interaction isn't a vibe, don't force it. Don't act like you need it, because you really don't. You should feel like you don't need any interaction. You shouldn't feel that way. And so what I said was, you know what, I'm out. In my mind, I got up, I walked over to where the waitress stand was. I paid my half of the bill, because usually, me and this person, we split the check when we with the ladies. I walked over to where the waitress place was at. I split the check. I paid my portion. And here we go again, right? Why would I talk to a girl that is uninvited and also, like, I'm paying the bill? I don't have to give you attention. You're supposed to give me attention. I'm paying the bill. I'm doing. If that's not good enough for you, that's how rude and obnoxious Colombianas are. Well, I would say to African American men. I would say to me. I'll go into that a little bit later, but I would say why they act like that towards me. It's personal, because I'm intelligent. See, if you're not an intelligent African American man, they'd be nice to you because they know they can run the bullshit on you because you're not intelligent. But if they see you intelligent, the only weapon they have is to not cooperate. The only weapon they have is to ignore you. And somebody teaches them this, Or if no one taught them this, then they're just evil. So, and then they just doing it on their own. That's an evil person. The difference between intentional and evil is intentional means someone taught it to you, and evil means you just know how to do it without nobody teaching you. So I would say that, I would say it was intentional. Somebody taught them this. So anyway, like I said again, and I called and it was good because my driver happened to show up. So I walked right out, hopped in the car with my driver, told him take me home. He took me home. I told dude what was good so they wouldn't cheat him on the bill. And then, I just, got back to the crib and I paid for my driver. And then I paid my driver to go back and get them and take them wherever the fuck they had to go. Because I really wanted nothing to do with those two girls. I barely wanted anything to do with him at this point, because I was already just fed up with this guy anyway. So I'm glad things left like that, because now, I know where I stand. I know where I stand, and that's how we got to keep it. And that's good. It's like, you gotta get people. I always say you gotta get people out of your life the right way. When people don't mean you well, you got to get them out your life the right way. And it was the perfect timing to get someone out of my life the right way. And also, I know I don't got to deal with these women ever again. Not that I would in the first place, but, you don't got to deal with them ever again. So that's 2 less people to have to worry. That's 2 or 3 less people to have to keep my eyes on and have to worry about. Because she was already blocked anyway. One of the girls, I had met her through this person. And I had already blocked her at that point. So it was like, I already had blocked that girl. I had no intentions of nothing. It's like you don't get... One thing I got to say with me is that I don't let women do whatever they want to me. You're not going to do whatever you want to me. And if you don't do anything I like, goodbye. You can go. You know what I'm saying? You can get out of here. I don't care. I know who I am, and I know what I have. And it's not important that you know any of that. You're not supposed to know any of that. Your decisions are supposed to be based on something other than knowing that. But like I said, I think a lot of it for me, speaking for myself, like I said, is personal towards me. And then you have the other things, So first it's just they have a personal thing against me. Only they know what that is. I say it's that I'm just an intelligent African-American man. And there's a fear of that. There's a fear that comes with associating with that type of person, and there's a fear of just that person, right? And you have to read Neely Fuller to understand the associating part. Because what they've shown you is that if you associate with an intelligent African American man, not only would they be harmed, but you're going to be harmed, right? So, and then again, like I said, it's the foreigner thing. It's the whole quote unquote gringo thing. And then again, it's just, they're prejudiced too. Like I was just telling someone how, Colombians are really just Europeans who speak Spanish. In my mind, that's really how I see them. They're really just Europeans who speak Spanish. That's their mindset, you know what I'm saying? Because we know it's people that look like me down there in Colombia, but you rarely see them. You don't see them. And when you do see them, they really do have a mop in their hand or a broom in their hand. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'll tell you a story about this other country where I think they low-key did that a lot because I would come in there. Like, they showed that off a lot. But anyway, I'll digress for now. So, yeah, man, those were like the worst those were the worst dating experiences I've had ever in my life. Even, like, I've never been on a date with a girl. Even in America, I've never been on a date. And, like, in America, if you get a date with a girl, there's some familiarity. And I've been on blind dates, too, where you hadn't seen me and we just talked and shown up. Or I've been on, like, situations where I'm with my boy and his girlfriend brings her friend, right? Even all of those situations have gone way better than being in a foreign country, than the two experiences I had in Colombia, where basically they just sat there and ignored me, unfriendly, ignored me. You thought I said something rude to them, but you can't say anything too rude to them because they're not even talking to you. They just made up their mind, like, yeah, I'm not going to be polite. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's bullshit. It's that they're the same, man. The women are the same everywhere. To me, it's bullshit. Women are not going to be any more friendly to you because of their nationality or because you come from a foreign country to their country. Now with their own men. So I'm pretty sure they don't act like that around Colombian dudes. I'm pretty sure they would never do that to a Colombian dude. They wouldn't behave like that to a Colombian dude for a lot of reasons, right? A lot of reasons why they wouldn't do that. But so that says a lot more too, right? That says a lot more about who they really are. So, and me, I'm about character. I'm about being real. And if you're not real, to me, that's awful. That's an awful thing to know about a person that they're not real. I actually feel bad. I actually feel bad for them. I feel bad for them, knowing what I know about myself and how I can benefit how I can benefit, and I've made people's lives better just doing acquaintance with me. I don't know, association, acquaintance. I don't know which one is higher, but whatever. Just do a short conversation with me. I've made so many people's lives better. But hey, I don't care. Like I said, I'm not going to let no one treat me how they feel they should treat me because of what is the circumstances beyond that. So yeah, I was like, this is awful, 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 awful. And again, you got these dudes on here talking about it's going to be gravy. It's going to be so magnificent. It's going to be wonderful. And, nah. And again, like I said, you have to understand what's going on to answer the questions. To answer the questions, you got to understand what's going on. Yeah, if you are any other ethnic man, it'd be great for you. If you white, Indian, Asian, whatever, it'd be great for you. Colombian men, Latin men, they got it good. It's definitely great for them. They got it good. But I would say for me, and maybe it's just me, I don't know. Or maybe a lot of people are just embarrassed to tell the truth. They feel ashamed of ignorant people. They feel ashamed of rude people. They feel ashamed of unfriendly people. They feel ashamed, so they don't speak up on it. But I don't care. If it's just me, it's just me. I'm just telling you, like I said, this was my experiences. So you know. And if my experiences are bad, then everything people are saying is a lie. It's not perfect. If you're saying it's not perfect, if you're saying, okay, maybe they're not saying it's perfect, but they're not actually saying that, right? They're sounding like they're saying it's perfect. So the question you should ask these YouTubers is it perfect? And they'll say, no, it's not perfect, but, it's better. And how is it better? Would be the next question. And so if you study nearly filler, you get to the answers. But I can tell you this answer for free is all you got to do is ask yourself the answer to the question, what's the difference between cornflakes and Frosted Flakes? If you can answer that question, that's the answer to, how is it better, right? How is dating in Colombia better than dating in America? Because I can guarantee you, if I went on a date in America, at least I'm going to get a chick that talks to me. She's going to give me some interaction. Maybe she's going to find something that I like. And if she knows enough about it, she will, we'll have a conversation about it, or she'll ask me questions. I don't think anyone goes on a date in America and they get ignored or they get treated unfriendly. A chick might show up and she might leave quick. She might just say, I'm not feeling this. It was nice to meet you. Goodbye. But that's even something. And that's what I'm saying. It's just weird. It's like weird. It's like you come to these countries and they don't think you pay all this money to travel. That means nothing to them. So we know that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And so who they are as a person, they don't even have a cordial, a sense of social courtesy. Or maybe they do, but they just don't care because you're a foreigner, So in reality, certain foreigners mean less to them than other foreigners. It's a lot. It's a lot. And that's why I say, for me, the answers I derive, because I know what's going on, is that Colombians, for lack of a analogy, they're just Europeans who speak Spanish. That's all they are. Europeans who speak Spanish, and we shouldn't be gaga gooing over them because, like I said, they are not. Yeah, when it comes to the lifestyle and it comes to their attractiveness, I give them a lot of props, but a lot of them are assholes too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are assholes. I've seen some very beautiful Colombian women, and I'd be like, damn, she's an asshole though. That's the way they talk to you. They talk to you like an asshole. And I'm like, damn, she's an asshole. And some of them, I tell them to their face, you're cute, but you're an asshole. I've done that in every country but Thailand. I think I've told women to their face, like literally told them off to their face, like, your treatment of me is just not called for, and you're an asshole. They understood English. I remember doing that in Brazil. I'll tell you that story. And this chick was solid too. She was solid bad, but like I said, women can be assholes too. Women don't understand what they really should be doing, and a lot of it, like I said, you got to read Nelly Fuller's book because there's a whole section on females that nobody has picked up on or talked about in the YouTube spaces. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my tale of my worst experiences. Yeah, Colombia, when it comes to dating, will give you the worst dating experience. The worst dating experience is going to be Colombia. And I'm going to talk about the best dating experience and